Hello, welcome back. My name is Literally Dead, and today is Season 33 of King God Castle, and with every new season, the new Battle Pass skin, and this time it is the Queen of Life Mercil. I love the colors, I love everything about it. Let's unlock it. And done. That's a cool screen as always, I love the colors. Let's just check it out in the barracks, alright. I gotta say, this is probably one of the coolest Battle Pass skins I've seen in a hot minute, and I like how it kind of, but not really, is similar to the Bardry Battle Pass skin, if you know what I mean. Like, look at the branch arc. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's read the description for this. Seeds turn into leaves, leaves into trees, trees into flowers, and flowers into new life. Everything circulates around you. I and this world are no exception. Great description as always, and let's check it out in Chapter 1 and also maybe Chapter 2 just to see what the skin and what it looks like in the battlefield. Also, not only does she have an exclusive illustration, she has exclusive motion, exclusive skills and effects, and exclusive sound effects as well. I almost forgot to mention it is the Ludania Festival, meaning you can also get the new skins, which I'll talk about in more detail in just a second, but first you can also get the Battle Pass skins for Yol, Nightmare Queen Ren. But what's really cool is instead of paying gems for the new skins, which we'll talk about in a second, you can get the Ludania Festival skin coupons with event tokens, which is really cool in my opinion. Alright, so the first skin is the Wind Magic Professor Bardry. Let me read the description for you. Ride the wind and let your body sink into the feel-free melody. Oh, I also forgot to mention each of these skins also have a unique illustration as well, which is really cool. And for this one, I like it. And I'm also going to show off the effects that they have off into the side. You can see them yourself. The next one on here is the Fire Magic Professor Zoop Zoop. And her description is, our flames will stop at nothing. What's crazy about this, what's absolutely unbelievable about this, is that they're actually capable of making another good Zoop Zoop skin. So that's pretty cool if you ask me. So on top of that, Mercil gets another skin with a unique illustration, which is really cool. I guess get all the Mercil love you can get. It's Mercil the Staff Master. Allow me to read the description for this as well. Listen to the stories embedded in the staff. Every single one of them breathes with us. Pretty cool. I thought that was gonna rhyme, but it didn't. Whatever. Anyways, it's really cool. Yeah. And the very last one is Oracle Yeon. Allow me to read the description for this one. Oh, the stars that behold the fate beckoning within the flow of time, let me hear thy voice. And I gotta say, this is one of the coolest ones out of all four of them. Yeah, these are all really great skins, and I forgot to mention you can buy each of them for 199 gems each, which is kind of a lot, but at the same time there's only 4 skins. Anyways, while I'm here, might as well rank all these skins and tell you how I feel about them. I like all of them, by the way, they're all really good. I would say that the Bardry skin is a solid 9 out of 10. I'd say the Zoop Zoop skin is probably like a 9.5 out of 10 for me. The Mercil the Staff Master is definitely the weakest one, but it's still like an 8.5 for me. And finally, Oracle Yeon is, again, another 9.5, maybe even 10, but we'll see. Overall, these are really good skins, and I liked how they kept it to 4 instead of having 6, because I feel like 6 was a little ridiculous, and I'm pretty sure the price was even higher then too, so I like what they're doing with this one. And while we're on the topic of heroes, let's talk about hero balancing. So first off is Leica, who has a 12% max HP increase. His level 8 potential ability, where it was 20 MP cost of Natural Instinct and Wild Fury. It's the same thing, but it's now a minus 40% MP cost of Wild Fury. And finally, his Awaken ability for Obsession increases the damage dealt by using the same target skill. What used to be 20% increase, it's now a 40% increase, so that's a pretty big increase in my opinion. Good change though. Basically, the devs believed it took too much time in both transformation and casting his skill time when he's attacking the backline. Therefore, they reduced the required MP by empowering his level 8 ability, and they also increased the damage relatively less used by his Awaken ability, along with Leica's max HP, increasing that so he survives more. Good change in my opinion. Next up is Chung-Ah, where her ability deals 3 times more damage in the wide range, but now they changed it to depend on the skill level, so it's going to be 2.5, 3, 3.5, or 4 times depending on the tier. Chung'a's ability has a wide range attack, but it's relatively low damage, kind of makes it pointless. Therefore, they changed its damage scale so that it could deal way more damage as the skill level goes up. Another good change. Zuobai also gets a buff. His spell power increased to 40% more. Zuobai was considered relatively less useful lately because they reduced his toughness. Therefore, to bring him back up again without making any further changes, they increased his skill damage this time. Good change, but 40% increase is kind of a lot, but we'll just see. Next up, Nira. Her level 8 potential ability is completely gone and replaced with a 1% annihilation time damage per 2% extra attack speed. Max is 50%, so that's a lot. Nira was originally designed to become an attacker focusing on pure attack power instead of attack speed. However, since it takes time to charge the mana to activate her skills, she has no choice but to equip items that provide her attack speeds. So what they did was change her potential ability to provide attack power based on the attack speed, which is pretty good in my opinion. Pretty good change. Taebaek Awaken ability's No Retreat is completely different. It is now -1 second Tiger Kick duration. Taebaek's Awaken ability has been used as a tanking away from his original purpose from provoking nearby enemies. Based on the skill, Taebaek is showing an overpowered performance compared to the resource invested in him, so they decided to give a more significant penalty for his invincibility. I don't know how to feel about this change. Let me know about this one in the comments below, because yeah, I kind of don't see this either being all that good for people or all that bad. It really just depends on how you feel about Taebaek at that point, but yeah, let me know down in the comments. And yet again, Ian gets another nerf. It just won't stop, guys. Ian will just keep getting nerfed forever and ever. He's just too broken, because he's now getting a 25% decrease in attack, which is insane. On top of that, his potential ability is different. Instead of getting a +2 range, it's plus 50% damage to stride of steel target. So yeah, they were saying how despite the previous efforts, Ian still shows dominant performances in the game. They concluded that it was due to fundamental mechanisms of Ian himself that enabled him to charge skill from distance and deliver unilateral attacks in a vast area. So what they did is decide to redesign his level 4 potential ability to provide bonus damage against a primary target instead of bonus range. They also decreased Ian's elemental attack power to weaken Ian's menacing AoE damage. Yeah, and it is still gonna be overpowered. Trust me guys, it's not gonna change much. However, it's a start. We will one day be able to experience a balanced Ian, but today is not that day. We're still gonna need some more, but that's a good change. Ophelia gets a buff and a nerf at the same time. Her spell power increased by 36%, which is insane, but at the same time the number of attacks for her ability, it went from 3, 5, 7, 10 depending on tier. It is now 2, 4, 6, 9 depending on tier. So yeah, despite the previous patch, they admit that more was needed to make Ophelia play her role well. They provided Ophelia with more spell power to enhance her ability and weaken enemy heroes. Still, they also made her skills to attack less to prevent Ophelia from having overpowered like attack capability. And yeah, that makes sense, but at the same time, I bet she's still weak as fuck. But that's just me. We'll just have to see. And in my opinion, it is just a decent change. This is all the hero updates, so I think they're doing a pretty good job maintaining like the whole buffing, rebalancing, making sure that other heroes that aren't used as much are getting used more, but still there are a bunch of heroes that aren't getting used at all. So maybe they need a patch next time too. Maybe we can get that next update, but for now, I like the change. Altar of Blood got a buff as well. The Mighty Block used to be 1 or 2 times depending on how much input you have on the Altar of Blood, but now it is 2 to 3 times. And the Great Rift Mighty Block went from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 times depending on tier. It is now 2, 3, 4, or 5 times depending on tier. I think that they are realizing now that HP draining Mighty Block of the Altar of Blood used to be considered powerful, but now there are many alternatives these days, and the altar started to be, not used as much. So they decided to strengthen and advantage the Altar of Blood, and we'll see if it's going to get used more. Personally, I don't think so, but it's still a good change. Last but not least, before we start talking about the big change, you can also get Círdan and Mercil in the Hero Blessing, and they're considered the Silence and Storm, which is interesting, but yeah, cool. Alright, well let's start with the big bad. So Raid, yeah. They changed Raid, everyone hated it, and everyone retaliated, and they brought it back. But they also brought the old game mode back, so at least that's a thing. Personally, I'm not a big fan. I thought it was kind of boring, but I mean, more power to the people, and I think this is the best alternative, getting everyone what they want without, ruining some certain game mode, because I'm sure people actually really do like the solo raid, and, more power to you, but yeah, what I was saying is, I think the devs handled this whole situation really, really well. And yeah, so now we got a new game mode, but because of that, the season schedule has to be changed. So starting in the beginning of the season, we have the solo raid, and that will last about like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days as usual. However, Tower of Trial does not start until the Alliance raid starts as well. And the Alliance raid is also going to be 10 days. However, Tower of Trial will stretch beyond that throughout the rest of the season. So basically, Solo Raid is going to be 10 days, Tower of Trial is going to be... Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Oh, Tower of Trial... Oh, sorry, I read the thing wrong. Sorry about that. I'm going to keep all that in. So Tower of Trial is actually going to start... Wait, I'm so confused. I'm so stupid at the same time. Okay. Solo Raid starts on this day, and it's going to last 10 days. Tower of Trial is going to start a week from now, and that's going to last for the rest of the season. And finally, Alliance Raid is going to start a week from then, and that's going to be also 10 days. There you go, sorry about that. I know a bunch of people were in the comments already trying to correct me, but I fixed it midway through talking, and I'm not going to edit it out because I think that's kind of funny. Okay, so first off, let's talk about Solo Raid, that whole fun mess that you experienced last season. Anyways, what's cool about it is you don't need to be in an alliance to join this Solo Raid. The increased amount of silver and equipment provided in Solo Raid formations, so that's cool. Battle results scoring formula is being adjusted. Yeah, I really don't want to say every little thing that they're changing about that. Here's a picture of it. You can pause it if you want. Yeah, they changed the rank requirements from God tiered alliance from 1 to 15th to 1 to 25th. For season 32, the bonus of the God tiered alliance will be given 1 through 25th ranked alliances as well. The gold bonuses are as follows. Here you go. Pause it if you want. Gold bonuses from the previous season will be given before the number of the above will not apply. The Alliance's gold multiplier of solo raids will be added to the previous gold bonus from the Alliance skills in Alliance Raid. Gold bonuses from Alliance Raid will be the same as they were previously. Cool. And then Hero Incarnate got a something. The Silver Divine Protector property, 40% less basic attack taken. It used to be 60%, now up to 80% more skill attack damage taken, an additional 80% more skill damage attack taken by warriors. The Gold Divine Protector property, direct damage taken from the Incarnate, used to be 30%, now it is 25%. Hero Incarnate takes reduced basic attack damage, but takes increased skill attack damage in contrast, which makes the using of AoE magic damage on the multiple summon warriors hugely advantageous. However, as the hero who deals massive damage with basic attack generally has excelled in most raid battles, this Incarnate has been perceived as a little harder to defeat than the other Incarnates. But there have not been much difference in terms of strategy. To bring back the intention of the property, we are increasing the amount of skill damage received by the Incarnate while adding a significant amount of skill attack damage taken by its warriors. On the other hand, we slightly nerfed its property in gold tier to balance this difficulty in other Incarnates. So basically, they want this one to be a very niche hero Incarnate, where you have to basically form a very specific team instead of doing what you've been doing. Kind of annoying, but at the same time, it's whatever. I guess it makes it interesting. You have to figure out new strategies and whatever, but at the same time, it does kind of ruin a lot of already existing strategies. Whatever. I think weighing in all the pros and cons, pros keeping it interesting, cons kind of make losing consistency. I don't know. I think it's a decent change, but we'll just have to see. I think it'd be a really good change if the Rose strategy still worked, but I don't think it does, so that kind of sucks. And finally, the last thing I wanted to talk about was the Tower of Trials. The open period used to be 14 days, now it is 21 days. Tower of Trials opening schedule, season opening date is 7 days after the season openings, as I said earlier. The number of trial flags will change as the opening period gets expanded. The Commander Blessing adjustment now has a 100% increase for 3-star clear rewards, so that's going to be really cool. And deleting the feature that gives an increased number of flags, I mean, that kind of makes sense. You have 50% more days to figure this shit out. And the Commander Blessing will not be available for purchase for the first week of the season for adjustments. Cool. I actually kind of like this change a lot. Let's see, like the 100% increase in rewards. I mean, we take those. Those are really cool. And deleting the feature that gives an increased number of flags, that makes sense. You don't have to waste any more gems in case you're struggling. You have 3 weeks to figure this out instead of 2, so that's plenty more flags than usual. So in my opinion, it's a good change. Okay, so overall, let's talk about the update. I think everything they're doing a pretty good job. And the new Battle Pass skin, the Queen of Life Mercil, it's such a good skin. I really like the effects, I like how it looks, I like the sprite, I like the artwork, I like the description, everything about it is great. I would give this like a 9.9 out of 10 right now because it's so cool. I would give it a 10 out of 10, but I just don't have like that. It didn't hit me like that, you know what I mean? It's just so close from getting there. It will definitely be there maybe in a couple months from now, but as of right now, I'm just going to call it a 9.9 out of 10. Let me know your thoughts about it down in the comments below, because I really want to hear your thoughts about what you feel about this skin, what you feel about this update in general, and any changes that you would have made instead. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry this is a very long video, but I mean, a lot happened in this video, right? A lot happened in this update. So be sure to like and subscribe, and if you do, Mercil's going to use her staff as a fan because it's a giant ass leaf, and use it to cool you off and be your personal fan. So that'd be pretty cool if you ask me. I would subscribe if I were you, and I will see you later. Bye.